Hello there and welcome to a new path to love. This video is for you. If you are chasing after a man, you want him to choose you, you want him to love you, you want things to be different. I so understand. In this video, I'm going to literally give you the solutions. I am going to give you the clarity that you need so that you can stop the anxiety today, so that you will stop thinking that there's something wrong with you. What is happening, even though it might not feel like this, is actually happening for you for a giant, big, huge purpose. First of all, the key to attracting, manifesting, having, creating this beautiful love that you want in your life is not to keep trying harder, is to not look at yourself and be thinking, what is wrong with me? What am I doing wrong? The key to attracting this love is actually so simple that most of us don't do it. Most of us are going to keep spinning our wheels for the rest of our lives. Most people are going to keep attracting the same kind of pattern, the same kind of relationship in their life over and over, and they're never actually going to get the best. Now, you might get good, but you're never going to get the best if you don't just listen to what I'm going to say. The key to attracting the love that you want, it's stopping. Just stopping everything that you're doing. Take your focus off of it completely. Oh my God, how do you do that? You're obsessing. You're thinking about this guy all the time. Your nervous system is shot. You're anxious. I get it. This is where, for me, a higher power has had to come in because I couldn't do it on my own. So the key is to stop. Stop all of your efforts. Stop trying to figure it out and do something completely different. What is that thing that's different? Well, first, before I tell you that, I want to tell you a little story so that you know that I'm not just making this shit up. This is actually stuff that I have gone through, that I have experienced, and I now know what works because I definitely know what doesn't work. About a year and a half ago, I was in love with a man, or at least I thought I was in love with a man. He was much older than me, and in some ways he filled many roles for me, like the father role, the grandfather role, brother role, a mentor, a financial provider, a lover. I could tell that this man had some brokenness. Being a very empathic, sensitive woman who just wants people to feel loved and acknowledged, I thought that maybe what I could do is I could love him and then he would feel better. And that was just like kind of my responsibility, was to like save him or fix him. He was involved with someone else and he had shared with me that he wasn't happy in that relationship. He definitely wasn't sexually attracted to this woman, but he really cared for her. We ended up spending some time together and I listened to his heart. And before you know it, we were starting to be more romantically involved. Now, I knew this was wrong. I knew that this was not something that I should be doing, especially with a man who was already in a relationship with someone else, even though he wasn't happy in that relationship. I thought that maybe I could change his mind, and I thought maybe we were destined to be together. He said all the right things that just lit me up like a Christmas tree. But what kept happening was I kept seeing days and weeks and months go by, and there was no action behind what he was saying. He wasn't really spending that much time with me, or as much as I wanted to spend with him. He was only doing things on his terms. I was conforming myself to match what he was giving me. I told myself that I was okay with that, but really deep down I wasn't, because there was this anxiousness coming up, and that was my body's signal to me to tell me that I was suppressing and abandoning my own needs. But at the time, I did not have the belief system that I actually could attract a very conscious, amazing man that's not with someone that would love me, cherish me, and commit to me. So because I had that limiting belief already in my brain, I did not say to this man, I'm not going to tolerate any of this, so I'm just going to not pay attention to you, and I'm going to create the space for this amazing man to come in. I would have done that had I had that mindset, but I didn't at the time. I have cultivated that mindset now as a result of the pain of not having that mindset and how that pain really affected my life. So time kept going on and I kept getting more entangled and enmeshed and attached to this man. I had broken it off about 12 times, and every time we would just get reconnected. I didn't know how to stick with my boundary. I didn't feel like I had the support to be able to stay with the decision that I had made to stay away from him, because then all these thoughts would come back up and I would be longing for his words again, until finally I reached a breaking point and I was like, I can't do this anymore. That's when I cried out to a higher power and just was like, Uncle, I don't know what to do. Help came. I have been on a journey since then, and I have come to some conclusions and have come to some clarity to be able to see a lot of things from such a different perspective, because it's only been a year and a half since that happened. But what I will tell you is that I am in the best place I have ever been in my entire life. I want to explain to you what is going on, or what could be possibly going on in your life, and how to get out of that. So there are the real problems, and then there are the false problems. So there are things that we think are the problem, but then it's because we're not seeing things from the proper perspective. So what are the false problems that are going on right now in your situation? Well, a false problem would be that you have to try harder. That's not actually true. Another false problem could be that you're not worthy, or you're not pretty enough, or you're not rich enough. The other false problem could be that he just hasn't made up his mind yet, but he's going to. False problem is thinking that he should be somewhere else than where he is right now. But the real problem is that this particular person, for whatever reason, is not showing up and giving you what it is that you feel like you need. And how do you know that? Well, because you clicked on this video, because you're feeling anxious, because you're feeling confused. If this particular situation were the right situation for you, you would feel clarity, you would feel calm, you would feel safe. So why would we keep going after something when a part of us knows that this isn't good for us? Well, there's lots of reasons. And the reasons are because we are acting out some childhood trauma. Okay, I'm acting out childhood trauma, but how does that help me right now? Like, don't you understand? I'm in a situation that I don't want to be in, and I don't just want to get out of the situation so that I land in another situation. And I definitely am here to help women to not just get out of the present situation that they're in. I'm here to help them see from a bird's eye perspective what this situation is calling for, so that they have long lasting absolute transformation from the fucking inside out, so this never happens again. And what that entails is to take your focus completely off of the situation and to adopt a new path to love. What does that look like? Well, first, it's stop. Like I said, it's just stop everything and look somewhere else. And for you, that might be go walk the dog, go paint a painting. Stop focusing on him, stop focusing on the problem, the solution. Don't even look at it. Suspend it for now. Just say, okay, we're going to come back to this later. But for now, we're going to put this over here and we're going to go take a bubble bath. When you're in that space of not even thinking of it, the solution, the man that is right for you, which maybe could be this man eventually that you're with right now, everything that you want is already on its way to you. And it has been the whole time. But our limiting beliefs and our resistance and our overthinking and our old patterns are blinding us to it in this present moment. It's so hard sometimes to get this. And this is why it's so important to just suspend belief and just listen to what I'm saying. And this is why my program is called The New Path to Love, because it's completely different from anything else that's out there, at least from what I've seen. All these other models, they don't get to the root. They don't put a stake in it and say no more to this. It's not even about saying no more. It's about you're not even in the same land anymore. It's like you become a completely different person, and you don't do this on your own. You're doing this in conjunction with someone who can guide you with a higher power that does it for you. It's kind of like you're Dorothy and you wake up and you were once in the land where it's all black and white. And then all of a sudden a storm comes, and then you land in a whole entire different land. Like you're in a land of color with munchkins. That's what this whole path to love is it takes you out of that black and white world and puts you into this world of technicolor. You don't have to figure it out. That's the other thing. Up to this point, you've been trying to figure it out. What I'm asking you to do is to believe that you don't have to do any of that, and to just trust my words when I say that it can be easy. Now, I'm not saying that this guy might not be the guy. What I am saying is God has 3 answers for you. It's yes, not right now, or I have something better. Earlier, I was talking about false problems and real problems. If we're focusing on false problems, we're blinded. We don't even know what we don't know. And that's just it. Like, we just don't know what we don't know. But when we finally know, we know. When we're focusing on false problems, we're going to be applying false solutions, and we're going to be getting nowhere. So the point to all of this is to look at the real problem and find real solutions so that we actually do get somewhere. Because what do you want? If you want to attract real love in your life, you want to feel cherished, you want to feel adored, adored. You want to feel stable. You want a man who's going to support you. You want a man that you're just in love with and he's equally in love with you. Once you feel that, you're off to the races. You're creating what you want to create. You're in this beautiful life. You're gardening, you're painting, you're singing, you're laughing, because you just know that you feel complete in this love that you have. And if you're not feeling that, then there is a solution for you to get to that place. But it is absolutely a new path that I would imagine that you've never taken before, or you would be there. And I didn't take that path. I was going by the old paradigm. I was going by the old structure, and I didn't know what I didn't know. And then God gave me a revelatory transformational experience, and it came through a lot of fucking pain. But now, because I'm on the other side of it, just like in my alcohol addiction journey and my food addiction journey, I used to be someone who was heavily addicted to alcohol and drugs, and I'm not anymore. Therefore, I can help people who are currently addicted to alcohol and drugs, because I've been through it and I have had a transformation. I went from the world of black and white to a world of color. It's a completely different world. You don't solve the problem with the same kind of tactics and thinking that got you into the problem. Same thing with my food addiction journey. I had a severe eating disorder, and I don't anymore. I am now someone who intuitively eats whatever the hell she wants. I used to be so addicted to food that I was binging and purging around the clock. I used to vomit my food so much that I had sores all over my face. And I say that because no matter where you are in your life, how extreme this might feel, how impossible this might feel, how scared you are, on one hand, you could know for certainty that you don't want to be in this anymore, but you also don't want to let it go. And I get it. I get it more than you could possibly know. But I hope in this video that I am explaining that there is a solution, and it's going to take you making a decision. It's going to take you doing something different, possibly something different than you've ever done in your whole entire life. And this is where my new path to love comes in. I have, through my experience, I've taken a long fucking time, 48 years of my life to get here, to come up with a comprehensive program, coaching method to be able to guide women who are in these situations gently and lovingly out, where it can be an effortless process where all you gotta do, honey, is get into the boat and watch how life is gonna guide you. You might have some things come up along the way where you're scared, but I have tools and I have techniques and I have meditations and I have journaling questions and I have all these modalities to help you go through every single little nuance that you might go through as you are changing, as you are truly taking this situation, which came into your life to show you something, to help you heal, to elevate, to transform. I was happy with this man's crumbs because up to that point, I had never had better crumbs. But then there was something deep down inside, though, that knew that even those good crumbs weren't good enough, and I wanted the whole freaking cake. And I needed to let go and go through the withdrawal process, go through the no contact process, and go through a process, and not alone. I'd support through this to be able to get to the place where I am right now, where I have been transformed. And now I'm helping other women to attract the amazing love in their life that they deserve. But first, before you attract that amazing love into your life, what happens is that just becomes like the icing on the cake. But because what precedes that is this feeling that you've never felt before, or you possibly have never felt before, where you're like, I have never felt more content or happy in my life. I feel whole. This space that has been created when I took all that out, because right, when you take all that out, you're gonna get all this energy back and focus back, and you're gonna have so much space to be able to like have some stuff filled in. It's like you empty out the cup of misery, empty up the cup of pain, and all of this will come in. Things that you can't even imagine right now. But the stuff that came in when I emptied my cup, the stuff that came in blows my mind, and it brings me to tears right now, because let me just tell you, it's worth it. You're gonna feel pain in either direction. At least that's my assumption. You're gonna feel pain just going down this path and continuing to go down this path. That might not happen for you, but that was what happened for me. I had all the awareness in the world about my patterns and about how I was choosing the wrong men. I even would joke about it. Like, I have the worst picker in the world. And then I would just keep getting into these relationships. There was a lot of shame. I was like, I'm a smart, intelligent woman, but when it comes to this, I am like, and that was like one of the best places I ever got to in my life, was to finally admit defeat. And that's why I say the key to attracting this love into your life is to stop. I have a program, and it's called A New Path to Love. If you want to have a conversation and you want to go deeper with this, then let's jump on a call and you can start a transformational journey that I would be honored to guide you on. There are links in the description box below. I'm going to be putting out more videos sharing my experience because I know there are women out there that are suffering like I was suffering, and I don't want that to be the case, because here's the thing, it doesn't have to be. There is a new path to love. The new path is coming in and the old path is dying. We didn't know what we didn't know, but now we're knowing, and it's my job to start educating people and giving them the real tools, the real skills, the real solutions to the real problems. So thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Mandy. I hope this video has inspired you, motivated you, and given you some inspiration and some hope. I'll see you in my next video. Until then, take care.